1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got the On the Dot PGA live stream coming at you guys here for the Charles Schwab Challenge. As always, I'm here with the outright king in major tournaments at Teaser Nation. 2 for 2. Nailed Brooks Koepka last week. How are we feeling this week, bud?
Good, man. We're actually three of the last three too. We kept Cam Smith last year, so we're dated back to last year. So no, I'm feeling good, man. It's crazy. I think we're up about 22 units on the first two majors. I mean, it's been good. We hit three for four on tournament matchups. We got the Hatton one over the weekend, Keegan Bradley over Siwoo, and then Brooks over Jason Day. I mean, that at plus 100, that was about as easy it gets. But no, it was a good Sunday to have a sweat. It was getting a little nerve wracking there because Hovland was playing kind of lights out for 15 holes, so it was a nerve. I just didn't really want to lose to Hovland, his first major. I was like, if I do, it's kind of going to piss me off. But no, he played lights out on the weekend, Brooks, and I'm glad we cashed that for anyone who tailed that. So
yeah, I think we're gonna nail a Hovland major win sometime soon. So we both have been eyeing him. He looks very, very solid in majors. A guy that I don't think we should be fading anymore. But kudos to all the Brooks backers out there. He was just when we talked about having grinders on that. I mean, he was the epitome of it. And I was just skeptical of it. That's why I couldn't do it. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go with my man Rory. He ended up cashing our top 10. Went Cantlay, cashed the top 10 for us. But other than that, Cam Smith tried to go up there. He just could not get it done. And JT was just abysmal in the weekend. So I had ultimately lost minus, I think it was 0.85 units. I think that's the third straight tournament I have not got a profit. We're still right above 17 units for the season. So plenty of time to get that back up to above the 20s. But if you guys have cashed with us, please leave a comment, hit that retweet button if you're on Twitter, hit that thumbs up on YouTube as well. We've hit 5 of the last 8 outright for the tournaments. Yep. I mean, that's very, very tough to do. And me and Teaser have a pretty dang good grasp on this. So show some love if you guys don't mind. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And we should get after this Charles Schwab challenge here. We got some we'll go through our placements. If you guys are new here, we'll go placements. We'll go DFS talk, some advice there on how to attack the lineups. I have not taken one down yet this season, but man, I am close. And then we'll finish up the show with our outrights. I was talking to Teaser beforehand, and I nailed all the sleepers that needed to be had last week. I was on Cam Davis. I said, let's go Bryson and let's go Kitayama. I just didn't put them all together. Didn't put them all together in one lineup. Obviously, they finished like 3, 4, 5. We're tied for third for all 3 of them, and just didn't put it all together. But I had them sporadically, throughout my lineups, and I just couldn't get them with one of a 6 of a 6. And I had Scheffler in my one and done, which he got me a second. So still have my 40-point lead there. So excited about that moving forward. We'll see who I'm on this week as well for the one and done, and go through some DFS talk as well. So you want to talk about the Colonial Country Club here, the course, what we're looking for stats wise, and what we should attack this week.
Yeah, so we're kind of back to one of those shorter courses, par 70. It's around 7,200 yards. Once again, it's going to be one of these positional courses. It's kind of like a tree lined type course. So there's not really penal rough, but there's trees that can kind of affect you if you're not hitting fairways. So basically, you need precision off the tee, accuracy on approach. With this week, we're kind of looking at wedges and mid iron. So you're going to have like 100 to maybe 175. There's not going to be too much of 200 plus this week. So I guess we had some rain this week as well. We were talking about, so that could kind of bump up the winner to like the 15, 17 range. Usually we see around like 8 to 13. So it's kind of unpredictable in that sense. So we'll see how that plays. So really the one thing we'll talk about tonight, I know we kind of talked about it before, is the course history. I think that's one of the main things I'm looking at this week. It's proven to be very predictive the past like 10 years here. And this is like a key stat I kind of dug deep on this week. So I'm kind of going to, key on these guys. Of the last 8 winners, 5 have posted a top 10 or better within the last 3 years. So just a couple of names that kind of are on that list. We got Jordan Spieth, obviously. We'll talk about him. Justin Rose, Griot, Morikawa, which everyone's talking about. Brian Harmon, Brendan Todd, Sungjae M, Sam Burns, Patton Kizzire, and Cam Davis. So those are
sounds like my card right there.
Yeah, that's which is good. I think what we're going to be going off, I'll just say that's probably going to be most of our card right there. So course comps slots in well with other shorter courses such as Pebble Beach, Harbor Town, Sedgefield. And then once again, key stats, proximity from about 100 to 175 is going to be key this week. Fairways gains and good drives gained is another huge stat. And the course histories, for me, that's not very it's not like you can't really cap that, but it's something that, has been predictable the last couple of years. So yeah, that's kind of who we're going to target this week. People are good with wedges and mid irons and good off the tee. So
I'm all about that. And the win this week, it looks like on Thursday it should not be an issue. It might have a little bit in the afternoon. Friday looks a little bit more windy in the afternoon, but the win this week's pretty standard. So there's no true wave advantage there if you're playing DFS. But I am going to definitely key in on the strokes gained approach and the strokes gained around the green. With the rain, I think it changes things just a bit because some of these bombers can still get into, have a little bit more of an advantage because it's not as fast and firm as it normally would be. But I do think, like a Kurt Kitayama's in play for DFS, like he was last week. The Sepp Straka, guys that hit it long, that have a chance to put up a low score like they did on Sunday at the PGA Championship. So those are some guys that I'm looking at for DFS there. Didn't make the card, but definitely going on some strokes gained approach. So if you go to PGAtour.com, look at some of those top guys there. Yeah. Obviously the number one guy we'll talk about on that, which is Colin Morikawa. He kind of checks all the boxes for us here. But yeah, strokes gained approach, strokes gained around the green, and driving accuracy is probably the top 3 that I'm going off of. And if I'm going to break any ties, I'm going to go over approach over driver this week. So yeah, like I said, it's a tight fairways, hard to hit approach shots. The greens are fairly, I would say, flat. So, you won't need it much like lag putts like we did last week. Bogey avoidance wasn't so crazy for this week because you're going to need some birdies. So look at some guys that go low, hit the ball far, and pretty accurate, and then good approach shots. So you want to go with some top 40s here?
Yeah, you can give out your 40s. I right now I don't have any. I don't know.
The 40 market this week was atrocious.
Pretty bad.
Which means we're probably in for a wild ride. I went to FanDuel to get all 3 of these because all 3 of these are minus on DK. But I'm going to go Brendan Todd. We're going to go Ryan Palmer, and we're going to go Eric Cole. So Cole's gotten some love in the betting markets. Palmer is one of those guys who grew up this course, member of this course. He calls it his home course. I'm all for getting on Palmer. Not going to take him much to get an outright or top 20. I'm not going to say he's going to go crazy, but I think a top 40 finish here at plus 115 is fine. Todd, on the other hand, I could see Todd getting up there in the top 5 this weekend and maybe competing to win it. He is fringe for me right now to take outright. I want to say he is. I mean, he's 70-1, and I really think his game suits this course pretty well. He's had pretty good course history here, so I'm tinkering with him. If I'm going to add him to the outright card, it's either going to be him or Chris Kirk. I think those are my two favorite to get up there. But yeah, Todd, Palmer, and Cole are the top 40 card, and I'll have a couple of other guys for some sleeper picks for DFS shortly here. So you want to go with your top 20 then?
Yeah, I think so. Right now I have 5. I might narrow it down to 4, but we'll see. We can kind of go back and forth if you want. I'll just throw out my first one here. So for first one here, this one, I was a little afraid he might have like kind of a dud this week just because he's playing so well this year, and he kind of was in contention last week. Justin Rose plus 130. I like the number on it, plus 130. The course history is also there. 3 out of 6 starts. He has a top 20 with a win here. The model rank 15, so he's in the top 20. 5th in proximity, 150 and 175, kind of what I'm looking at this week. Strokes gained approach, he's 27th. Strokes gained par 4, 16. You always, it's tough because I'm really thinking he could have a dud after like, a grinded out 4 days last week where he was just like back and forth. He made him plenty of birdies, but he kind of gave it back like every other hole. So he was just up and down. But
what did he finish last week?
Was he top? I believe top 10, right? Was he 2 under or 1 under?
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't know if you knew.
But yeah,
I think he was top 10. I think.
So right. It's tough. Like you think of that aspect, that's not really capping. It's just kind of like, okay, I've seen this before. They kind of just throw up a dud, but like the course fits his game, and like I like where he's been trending all year. He's had a win this year. He's honestly been one of the sneaky best players of the year behind, like I would say. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I would say maybe top 5 behind, obviously, Rahm, Scotty, and all them. But
I mean, we talked about him last week too, because we were saying Rose, Scott, and Fowler have like this comeback tour that they all 3 have been on. So yeah, I mean, you can't complain with Rose's output this year.
Yeah, I mean, he has 3 top 20s his last 5 starts as well. So that's another key I was looking at. So yeah, that's my first one I'm kind of going to go with this week. So
I'm good with that. I'll piggyback on someone that I just talked about, and that is Chris Kirk, who has 7 top 20 finishes here in his entire career. Absolutely loves this course. I'm getting him at plus 170. So I'm flirting with him taking an outright. I can see him being up there. I just don't know if he can actually get it done. So I love the top 20 number here, plus 170. The top 20 market has a lot of value if you have those certain guys that you really, really like that aren't those top guys. You can get a pretty nice number and go that route. So that's where I'm going with Kirk. And then I'll flow right into my next one because I think you are already on Kirk.
Yep. Yeah, I got it. I was just going to say I got the same thing.
Yep. And then so cover boy, I'm going with Tommy Fleetwood, top 20 plus 130. Talk about iron games. Talk about approaches around the green. Guy who can stick it with the best of them. Tommy Fleetwood, who has had a great season so far. I see it continuing. His 7th strokes gained on approach. He is on for strokes gains par 5. He's top 5 there. So only worry I feel like is with the driver, and with that I'm still okay taking it. I think he can be accurate enough to have some legit approach shots to get up there. I had him wrote down with an outright, but I scratched that off. I for whatever reason my gut's telling me I don't like Fleetwood outright, but I do like him top 20 a lot. I got that plus 130. I'm doing a full unit on that one. So that's one of my favorite plays of the week.
Okay. Yeah. I don't mind that. Yeah, but outright, I don't think he's going to win. He can't win, honestly. But yeah, I'll just piggyback off Kirk. I also have that as well. Just one more tidbit about him. He has 7 top 20s here and 11 starts. So he likes this course, obviously.
Yeah. It's a very good course fit.
So I have 3 more, but first two here, I have this one's a little, I don't know how I think about this, but Sam Burns at plus 140. It's pretty good value. Like you kind of said, there's some good value on the top 20, the mid value market, where the plus 130 to plus 200 range.
Yeah.
One good thing about Sam Burns, I mean, his proximity from 100 to 125 is 20th, and his putting is always in the top 20. Those are the only two really positives about him right now, because he has been horrendous this year, to say the least, honestly. But his course history, he won last year. This is the one thing I am backing on this. He seems to be a guy where there's 3 courses that he likes, right? He loves the Valspar, where he's won twice. He won here. So there's courses where he just loves. He also, I saw a correlation to match play in this tournament. So a lot of people who do well in match play do well here. So he won match play this year as well. So that's a correlation I was looking at. So yeah, I'm just kind of banking on, some good vibes at this course, really, and kind of, get back into some form for the summer months coming up. So that's one there, plus 140. A little shaky about, but I do like the value.
He won it last year, so
yeah, so
definitely can.
That's really what I'm going off. And then this guy, I think I wouldn't say my favorite play of the week, but he's up there. I think Russell Henley, plus 150. Another good value, I think. Model rank, he's 11th. He's first in fairways gains, which is huge. He's always going to be hitting fairways. And then he always has a pretty decent mid-wedge game. So he's 15th in proximity, 100 to 125, 16th in opportunities gain. So here's another guy who can, make birdies in bunches. I do like him FRL this week. He kind of first-round leader. He always pops up, once every couple months. And I think this is the tournament where he can do it. Gaining 5 strokes total in his last 5 tournaments, so he's kind of trending a bit. He doesn't really have much course history. Once in 5 years, it came 5 years ago, and he came 58th. So I'm not really looking at course history with him. I'm just matching up his game with the course there. And then my last one I'll just give out really quick is Emiliano Grillo at 3-1. This one, it's just all about the putting, man. I mean, I guess I'm a sucker for shitty putters, I'm back to him, but this guy's wedge games, he's pretty good wedge game. So the proximity 150 to 175 is 4th, 3 top 20s in his last 7 starts. He's been sneaky steady this year. He hasn't been too inconsistent as he has in the past. Obviously loves positional courses. It's just a matter of the putts dropping for him, seeing a couple down. So obviously we only need the top 20, not an outright. So hopefully, goes low one day and kind of stays in contention there.
Give it that. Yeah, Grillo is always one of those guys I can't get right, so I always just avoid him.
I can't really either. It's like that's the one guy. It's always the putter with him. Like you never really see him have a bad, well, obviously he'll play bad off the tee sometimes, but it's never the iron game. It really isn't. So
yeah, I tend to play him more in DFS than I do betting him, because I just can't get him right, and hopefully he's in one of those lineups that kind of just that go up to those leaderboards there. But I'll finish with my last top 20, and that the guy's also an outright pick for me, and that is Sungjae M here. And if you played him last week, you're probably like, what the hell am I doing going back to him? I didn't play him last week, even though I thought he was a pretty good fit. He was just horrific from start to finish. I think he ended up like plus 13, missed the cut, and he's on to this week and a better, I think it's the course fit for him, where iron play is crucial. Before the missed cut at the PGA, he had 4 straight top 20 finishes. Now that includes at the Masters and the Players. So I think we're getting plus 110 here for 1 unit, Sungjae M. I'm also taking his outright at 22-1. So give me all Sungjae. Maybe he should have been the cover boy. I fell out of love with Fleetwood, and I kind of fell in love with M. So we'll see if that one burns me. But definitely like Sungjae this week to finish in the top 20 and be up there on Sunday. Maybe give us a sweat and finish one off for us.
I never really bet Sungjae. It's kind of weird. He's never really. I usually do him when he's in the mid-tier top 20s. I don't really go for but I like him this week. I think that's a good play. Hopefully he can, finish the deal for you. He's been in contention a lot. It's just a matter of if he can, seal the deal one of these times. But I guess I'll hop into my outrights really quick.
Yeah, let's go right to the outrights then real quick.
Yeah, so I'll start with my first one. I'm not sure where his wrist is at right now. He played okay last week, and that's Spieth. I got 16 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the model rank's going to be pretty good. He's been playing good all year. He's 9th in the model, 3rd in proximity, 150 to 175. That stat's been coming up a lot. And then this is really the courses for the course history is crazy. 9 out of 10 starts. He has a top 20 with 1 win. So it's pretty unreal. Recent
Texas
form.
boy. Yep.
Yeah, it's unreal. He's recent form. He's kind of been knocking on the door the past 2 months for a win. He was there at RBC again. He's been pretty good besides last week. So obviously it's a home game for him. He lives like 20 minutes away from this course, so feels very comfortable here. I'm going to take a shot at him. 16-1 there.
I like it. So I don't have a third outright currently. I'm going to try to find one before I post it within the hour.
You can say the next name. I'll piggyback. I know it's coming already.
The next one, I didn't know he was getting this much love. And I thought it was going to be more of a sneaky play because not sneaky, but a little bit different because his ownership on DraftKings is like 14%. So
that's weird. That's really weird, actually.
It's Morikawa, and him and Finau are both in that 14 or 15%. So I love the pivot from Scheffler or a Spieth, somewhere around those lines, and just a straight pivot for ownership leverage there is Finau and Morikawa, and then you got home up there, and you also have Hovland. So those, I think that's mainly why they're still at 14 or 15%. But Morikawa is getting a lot of love in the betting market. You talk about iron play, you talk about accuracy, you talk about approach shots. That's literally Colin Morikawa's game. He has, in the model right now, he's second for us. And if you just look at
number 1.
Oh yeah, sorry, he is number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, just he just like I was telling Teaser, he checks all the boxes for me this week. And I'm obviously the putter is the one thing that he has just struggled with, and that is one thing that can just click just like that. So I'm not too concerned with that. Hopefully it hits it pretty dang close enough where it's not going to be the long putts that he truly is kind of is hurting him. But man, give me some more Morikawa. I got 14 to 1, and yeah, I don't see how he's not up there on Sunday. I really don't.
I'll just piggyback a little on him. I'm getting so tired of talking about this guy. Honestly, like I'm tired of betting him. We're just kind of like. We're not, because he fits well at a lot of places. We keep saying like it's just the putting, like it's put everything together. Can he win? Like, were those 2 majors a fluke? Like, they're all still questions. So it's can you please just get the job done like this year, so we have to stop talking about it. So I think I'm gonna go on record here and be like, if he puts up a dud this week, I think this is the last. I don't even care anymore. I'm not betting him the rest of the year.
I got on the stream and I said, I'm betting your boy. I don't like it, but it's not that I don't like it. I'm confused.
I don't. It's not that I don't like it. We've just been here before, right?
Oh, we've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the DK ownership there. And for those playing DFS, Scheffler is garnering like 40% this week. And I get it. He's from Texas. He's going to obviously ball out. He's like, what is he, plus 400 to win this damn thing? Like, obviously Scheffler is going to be there, but I still think one of these elite guys up here, a Finau, Morikawa, Hovland, a Spieth, the M's, they're going to compete for it as well, and I think they can knock him off. And not because if we're talking about putters, Scheffler has been just as kind of off as Morikawa's been. We saw that on Saturday at the PGA Championship where he dropped off considerably, came roaring back on Sunday. So definitely it's a round to round thing. But you do something like that in this tournament where you're minus 12 to minus 16 is the winning score. You can get left behind pretty dang quickly on a day that you're off. So I really want to take Finau too. 14-1's kind of screaming at me, but I'm probably going to lay off and maybe have just more ownership with Morikawa and Finau in DK.
Yeah, just that's really all we have to say about Morikawa. Like, hopefully he just kind of puts it all together this week. I'm just gonna watch him close. Like last week, I watched him closely because I was fading him. I had Hatton over him, so I was just seeing what he was doing. I mean, he didn't play bad. It's just he didn't really do much over the weekend. That's been the thing with him. He doesn't do anything over the weekend. So I'm sure he'll be 8 under going into the weekend this week in second place, and he'll do nothing. So we'll see if he can, turn that around. But the last 2 outrights I'll give out. When I already talked about the 2 guys I actually have top 20. Sam Burns 30-1. This is, I guess, when I'm more like on the fence about people, that's when I win. So like Brooks last week, I was like, there's a chance for a dud.
Yep.
There's a chance for a dud for Burns. Yep. So maybe I'll just say Morikawa. He's going to have a dud, so he's going to win now. So
please, thank you.
Yeah, I like the 30-1 number. He's always seems to be in that range. I just like the value there. The course history, like we said, is there. And the last one, I have Russell Henley at 35-1. He's proven that he can win now. He won last year, so I don't hate him taking him out right now. And both Russell 11th in the model again. Like we said, he hits fairways, makes birdies. So hopefully we have a winner in there. We kind of said a lot of names, but
man, this third one, I'm just like back and forth on who I want to go with. I want to take a kind of a leap of faith.
You have Morikawa and who again? It's
Morikawa and M, and I'm another guy that's speaking to me a little bit. Who played exceptional last week. I said to play him in DFS. Sleeper guy, awesome Sunday was Cam Davis.
Yeah, he's been getting love this week.
Yeah, and for what's he at in DFS? He's currently setting in at 14%. So he's got the same ownership, obviously a little bit cheaper than Morikawa and Finau, but he finished 7th here last year. He's fresh off of 4th, and that guy has tremendous upside. So guy's 25th in the model. The only thing is if he's not hitting fairways, he's 114th. At hitting fairways. So,
well, your 3 you're with, you could go Finau for more like lower, or you went Kirk or Davis at the same number. That's your I mean,
those are the way I'm going to route. If I'm going to go with the safer play, I'm going to play Finau and just hope to get a win. But if I want a true long shot, it's going to be Kirk or Todd or Davis. So it'll be between one of those 4. So I'll post it. But man, I'm going to do a little bit more digging. Yeah. Cam Davis is kind of screaming at me to do it. Fresh off of that Sunday, low score. Really like having that momentum going into it. But if you guys are playing DFS out there, some sleeper picks for you guys. Putnam and Riley and Hostler, Bo Hostler, those are pretty good. Those are, and this is a week, just like I said, the top 40 market is horrific. The sleepers aren't the greatest. So I think the best route to go is like under 10%, a little bit more for your sleepers than to maybe not go under that 5%. Last week we got very, very lucky with Kitayama, Bryson, and Cam Davis all being like under 2% owned. And stupid production there. But the guys that are like true values that I would classify them are Henley. Kirk, again, is only coming in at like 8%. Todd's coming in at 8%. Siwoo Kim is coming in at 7%. And then a couple other guys are Eric Cole. And then the 2 main guys I talked about were Morikawa and Finau, who are just half or more percentage less than Scotty and Hovland and all those guys up front. So especially Spieth and M has 20% there. So you can get some leverage from that front there. That's how I'm pretty much going to attack this and not go true stars and scrubs, get a little more balanced build here. And of course, what do we always do every single week? We're going to fade Scotty Scheffler in DraftKings because you just have to. And I really wish I didn't do it last week. in hindsight because I had the stars and scrubs lineup that basically would have won me millions of dollars, but I didn't play it. But I think that's the route this week. I could obviously see Scotty winning this, but in DFS, we're going to garner some leverage and some ownership leverage there, and straight up fade him this week. Especially if you're playing large field. If you're playing cash games, put them in your lineups and don't even think about it.
Right.
All right. Who do you want to go with for one and done? If you had a one and done.
Oh man. I feel like a lot of people use Spieth already, but I guess I would go I don't want to say it, but I guess Morikawa, man.
Let me see if I've used Morikawa.
I guess you got to, right? Like,
I already used him. I used him at the Players. He got me a top 13. I have not used Sungjae M, and I'm thinking that's who it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, I got to do it. That's your guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going Sungjae. That's what we're doing. Sungjae M.
Yeah, I would say mine are probably Morikawa if you haven't used them. Spieth.
I don't think I have used Spieth either. I don't know why I'm waiting to use him.
Yeah, you missed a lot already, but I mean, they're still upcoming.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wait. I think M the nice little bounce back. Let's go some Sungjae for the one and done. Have not used him yet, so build on the 40-point lead that I got, which is nice to have. Well, let me see. Yeah. I'm 245. The next guy right below me is 200, so 45-point lead. All right, you got any closing thoughts? Any final words you want to? You got any sleepers on your end? Who you think might be up there?
Let me see.
I always like to hear teaser sleepers.
I gave out Grillo already. I think he's somewhat of a sleeper, I would say. But who else, man? I mean, you touched on a couple guys. You know who's just fallen off the face of earth? I'm not saying he's a sleeper, but Billy Horschel. He's 180 to 1. Like that's just crazy to me. It really is. Like
he was at times on our card, so we would talk about playing.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's gonna have 1 week where he breaks out. Like last year was Memorial, which is next week, where he won. Just kind of like he's gonna do it 1 week. I don't know if it's this week, obviously, but that's a crazy number. He's been playing horrendous. I don't know. I guess Hayden Buckley maybe.
Buckley last week played well. Yep.
Hayden Buckley. So there are two, and then that other guy, Sam Stevens. I mean, that's kind of a long shot, but every time he's played, he's gotten like a top 5. It's crazy. Obviously, it's pretty shitty, like alternate events, but like he's been like top 10. So yeah, those are 3 guys. I think I don't really. It's kind of just picking out of a hat at this course with sleepers, but I think those 3 are pretty solid. Yeah,
we have a very top heavy force up top there. Last question here for you. What do you think of Tom Hoagie this week?
I think
you have a very good Hoagie reader.
You're very good, or me?
No, you.
Oh,
that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see if I should include in my player pool.
Give me a sec. Let me see what his history is here. But I mean, he always goes in the model, right? Like he's great. So this is he's been horrible this year.
Yeah, he's top 10 in the model, and we did not talk about him. So I'm like, I need to add him in the player pool. Correct.
This is his history at 6 events here, or 6 times he's played. Miscut, 40, 42, 17.
Oh, God.
Okay. I would say he's unplayable, DFS, and unbettable right now. That's just me. He has no form. He's hard. Like last year I was great at, predicting him, but this year he's been very inconsistent. So I would kind of stay away.
Yeah, he's a sub 5% guy that I was thinking
he's
about.
Got to have. I think he's one of those guys where you got to see a week and then he kind of goes on a roll. But
oh yeah, and then Homa and Fowler. You touching them this week at all? I was big on Homa last week. Thought he was going to get it pretty good in the major and just fell short.
Yeah, I know I'm pretty good at Homa too, but like I wouldn't even I wouldn't touch him this week either. I think if he plays well, he plays well. Like there's not really any value here this week on him. I mean, it's a decent course for him, but I still like him in like the tougher courses, non-majors, obviously, because still sucks in majors. But yeah, I don't know. I could see him a top 20, but I don't think he's gonna win this week. So
yeah, I'm gonna have some of them in DK, but I'm gonna let loose and let him go off the card for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we will get up and out of here. Official card will probably be posted within the hour for me with that additional outright that I end up figuring out. But everything else should be solid. Teaser will have his full card with Hammer and Hank. If you want to get the premium card from him, he will have a couple of things that he sends out for the late night card as well. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, we'll be in the Discord. Hit that link below to go ahead and join, and you can get all access there. And appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. Let's go for 6 out of 9 outright winners. I think we got one again in here.
Yeah, I think we do. I actually think we do.
We did talk about a buttload of players here. So let's get another winner, and we'll get them out of here. See you guys next week.
Peace.